right. We are here with the Hallinans, Danielle and her CDH survivor, Annalise. And we're excited to have them here because they've been involved with us for many years, but we haven't seen them in a really long time. And so this is great to catch up. We're going to tell everyone about your story today, Annalise. So Danielle, can you tell us the very first time you heard the words congenital diaphragmatic hernia?
It would have been March of 2011. I was 18 weeks pregnant and I was at my anatomy scan, and I was already seeing a high-risk OBGYN anyway. And we went in for the anatomy scan, very excited about everything. And the tech did the ultrasound and was very quiet and left very quickly and left us alone for probably about 45 minutes, actually. And then the doctor came back in, and he was a maternal fetal medicine doctor. And he said the words diaphragmatic hernia, and we didn't know what it was. He actually had gone to the CHOP website and printed out some information for us about it, because I don't think he had ever seen a case himself either. So it was very, very confusing. We had no idea what was going on at first. All that we knew was that it was not good, and that we would have to be followed by a different team than we'd already established our care with, which was really upsetting to me as a mom too, because we had to uproot everything. Not that far, but still, you know, you get comfortable with your doctors. So we had to go see a whole new team, and they were actually amazing. We got very lucky. But yeah, we were very confused. We did a lot of research after that. We went online and we actually found some information from Cherubs, from CDHI, and we found some horror stories, some stories that gave us hope, and we found a really nice community here too, that helped us immensely through the pregnancy and then through Annalise's NICU stay as well.
Okay, so how did you prepare for her arrival?
Well, it wasn't a typical pregnancy after she was diagnosed. We weren't sure if I was going to have a baby shower or any of that. And I know that it seems very trivial when you talk about, oh, well, you couldn't have a baby shower. We did have a baby shower, but it was probably one of the saddest baby showers ever, because all of the stuff that I was getting, which was so wonderful, and we were being showered with love from everybody, which was amazing. But it was sad because we didn't know if Annalise would be around to even use it. And so that was the kind of trade-off. It was like, well, do you want to have the shower still? And I said, no, I want my whole family to get along and be together, and celebrate this pregnancy, because she is a miracle no matter what happens. But at the same time, it was so sad because everybody there knew the diagnosis and knew what our chances were. So we did end up having the baby shower. I was followed by the maternal fetal medicine, because unfortunately I was high risk as well. So Annalise had the diaphragmatic hernia. I had a history of preeclampsia in pregnancy. So I was high risk and she was high risk. So we saw doctors a lot. Every week we had a doctor's appointment with either a doctor for Annalise's condition or a doctor for my condition, which was extremely stressful. I fell into depression throughout the pregnancy. I saw a counselor. I was getting therapy, which was very helpful. But I just tried to concentrate on the positives as much as possible and read the stories of the survivors as much as possible to kind of lift my hopes, because me being depressed throughout the pregnancy really wasn't helping anybody. And if I could be positive about it, I knew that going into the delivery and going into our NICU stay, that would probably be a much better outcome for all of us if we could just keep our hopes up throughout it. So the pregnancy was rough. It was rough. Yeah.
Wow. Now your hospital was local, not local? Did you guys move to deliver?
We are located in southern New Jersey, so we're very lucky that we have Children's Hospital of Philadelphia within a 30-minute drive of our house. So we didn't have to relocate. Um, I I was too high risk to deliver at the special delivery unit at CHOP. So I took up care at the University of Pennsylvania, which have an amazing maternal fetal medicine team. And they took over my care. That way, when Annalise was delivered, she was just transported through. They have a tunnel from University of Penn to CHOP, and they transported her that way because we knew that the transportation with the ventilator does not usually have good outcomes. So that was the main thing, that we did not want to transport her whatsoever. So we delivered at Penn, which was amazing. I got really good care there. I actually delivered my son that I had after Annalise there as well, and we didn't really need to. There was nothing wrong with him or I really, but I just received such good care that I went back to them. So we lucked out. We are very lucky to live where we do.
That's great. Well, tell us about the delivery, and have you heard this story, Annalise, the day you were born? No. Okay. All right.
So,
No,
well, I was 30.
I'm basically just hearing it right now.
Hearing it right now? Okay, that's all right. That's good. So I was 33 weeks pregnant when I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia. And at that time, I was extremely scared because I knew that Annalise was small. She was growing real small. And we knew with a CDH diagnosis that we were looking at a possible ECMO machine for Annalise. And I knew that babies needed to be 5 pounds to be on there. So I was very nervous about her size, and I kept putting a lot of pressure on myself to prolong the pregnancy as long as I could, but I could only make it to 34 weeks. So at 34 weeks, I went in for a stress test, and the doctor said that my labs came back and that my liver and kidneys were not looking good. So we were going to have to deliver the baby that day. So I just stayed at the hospital, and Annalise was born at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of a very severe thunderstorm. And she came roaring into the world just like that thunderstorm. She came into the world, and she was immediately intubated. So they put a ventilator in her throat, into her lungs to help her breathe. But her APGAR scores were good. She looked really, really healthy for the size that she was. However, she definitely needed the ventilator. Her left lung was extremely small. She has a left-sided left-sided CDH. And so her liver wasn't up, just her stomach was up and some of her intestines. So when we delivered and they put the ventilator in her dad went with her to the NICU at CHOP. They transported her immediately over there. She was stabilized very quickly, and she had surgery when she was 5 days old. They used a Gore-Tex patch to repair her to repair the hole in her diaphragm. And Dr. Alan Flake did the surgery. He's an amazing surgeon. Annalise was on a ventilator for 6 weeks following her surgery to help her breathe. I didn't get to hold her until she was 21 days old. So I will always remember. 8 years later, I still remember 21 days old, because that's a very, Dawn, it's a very big deal to hold your baby. And for 21 days, I couldn't hold her. I hug her all the time now because I didn't get a chance to for so long. But yeah, she was on the vent for 6 weeks, and when she came, they tried 3 times to get her off the vent. Actually, it was heart-wrenching to see, a newborn struggling to breathe. But they finally did get her off the vent. And the main thing that kept us in the NICU, she was doing really great with everything, except for she had really bad reflux. to the point where she was eating through a feeding tube and still some of the food was coming back up. And so that was a feeding battle that we battled for 14 months, actually. She was on the feeding tube for, because the reflux was just so bad and we could not get it under control. I know a lot of CDH kids have issues with that too, just because of the stomach repositioning and everything. So we battled that for 14 months. But she eventually did come off of the feeding tube and she's great now. I mean, we did have one issue when she was 22 months old. She reherniated. She just didn't look herself and she was throwing up a lot. And so we took her to the ER, and the patch on her diaphragm had come a little bit loose and her stomach contents were pushing up on her lungs again. So they put a second patch on. So now she has two patches on the hole on her diaphragm. And she's been great ever since. We have no issues with her health whatsoever. She dances, she plays tennis, she plays piano, she's in Girl Scouts. Yeah, we are so lucky to be part of the 50% that make it. We really are, and we know it too. We do know it. We go back to CHOP for follow-ups, and they're just amazed every time we go. They keep asking us if she has asthma, and I'm like, no, she has no problems breathing whatsoever. They did say her left lung still is much smaller than the right lung, but as long as she's not symptomatic of anything, there's no reason to give her any medicines, and nothing preventative is needed. So she's a little itty bitty thing. Her brother, who's 3 years younger than her, is the same size as her. So we know she's a little bit smaller on the curve there. But other than that, we really lucked out.
Of all those things to do, what's your favorite?
Dance.
Dance. What kind of dance?
Lots of dance.
Which one's your favorite?
Do you like ballet or jazz or
Hip hop.
hip hop?
Hip hop. Yep, that was her hip hop costume you wore in the lip sync, right? Was that your hip hop costume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did a great job in that video. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a lot of CDH kids who like to dance. I wonder if that's connected, because we really have a lot that like to do dance stuff. And have you seen Rudy's video? So she knows who Rudy is?
Yeah, we followed him on, was it So You Think You Can Dance?
Yeah.
We followed him on there, and we were so excited to see him up there. And I follow him on all the social media pages now because he's such an inspiration.
He really is. He really is.
Maybe Annalise will be like Rudy.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll be voting for you on one of those shows. That would be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for everything. I really enjoyed seeing you both. Annalise, you're such a beautiful young lady already. You're so grown up so fast.
What do you say?
Thank you. Just stretching.
Yeah.